you're one of the first interviewers who is dissecting some of my bar game, because a lot of people sit back and just listen and be like, oh, that's dope. But I can explain anything that I've said.
Nah, well, as I hope you can tell, I'm a huge fan of your work and have been since early in the game.
Yeah, right. I mean, talking about Buster Free, like, there's a lot of people don't know about that. Did a
Yeah.
little bit of jail time. Now I'm back on the outs and I'm jonesing. And you know what I'm thinking about, sex. And in the studio getting mine. Ain't dropped a tape since 89. Like, yeah, that's one of those records. Like, there's a lot of people who like, hey man, that Buster Free was my shit. Like, the cool thing about making music for me is the amount of people who hit me in my DM now that social media is a thing and say, hey, bro, this song got me through. Or, dude, that do G's get to go to heaven? Dude, that song saved my life. Or, like Rich, your music has always been hustle music, but not just so much glorifying the bullshit. You kind of like letting us know like what can happen when you out there dealing with the bullshit.
But
You
that's one of the other misconceptions I think there is with a lot of rap, especially street rap, gangster rap, whatever, D-boy rap, whatever people want to call it,
right,
is that the people like yourself, the Schoolie D's, the Ice T's, the DJ Quicks, the icons, the Ice Cubes,
right,
they really are telling you they're giving you the game. Too Short is the same way, even though he's more famous for the women stuff.
right,
If you really look at I Want to Be Free, The Ghetto, Money in the
right,
Ghetto, City of Dope,
right,
Life is Too Short, I Ain't Tripping. These are not songs
right,
about women. These are songs
right.
about life in the hood.
Exactly.
And that to me has always been one of the biggest things. And that's part of why I wrote my book, The History of Gangster Rap, because I wanted to show, like, if you listen to Dope Man by N.W.A, as I say all the time, no one that could listen to that song could ever think that they are promoting being a drug dealer, drug use, being in the game, being around the
Right,
game. They're talking about the destruction of everyone involved, including the
exactly.
dope dealer.
Right.
And
What's but
nah, so I mean, I think that's the beauty of, the We Different is the layers of it too, because chicken's bird, bird is white. But it's like you said, it's levels to it and layers. And when you can put that puzzle together, it makes it even stronger, like the dude that DM'd you. So
right. So for me, when I got into rap was supposed to be how much shit could we talk that only people who were gamed up could get. But it was designed to go over the head of the people who didn't have no game. So we talking in code. That's what it used to be. We're
right.
only talking to the people who are gamed up. JT the Bigger Figure had the song Game Recognized Game. That was a slogan from where we from. Game Recognized Game. If you don't have no game, you don't even know what we're talking about. And we don't want you to know what we're talking about because this is not designed for you. This is designed for the gamed up individuals. Somewhere along the way, rap simplified. And, we used to be able to say, you know, homeboy played himself and got knocked down. Now, if you don't know what they be like, what he played himself and got knocked down. Well, now they just say, yeah, dude stole my shit and I'm gonna kill his ass. Like they put it in plain fucking English. Like, God damn, bro, you couldn't have disguised it a little bit. Like for the little kid who we didn't want to get that information and take it the wrong way. And that's how rap used to be. It used to be we talked in code for the people who could decipher the code. But then they simplified it and people just start saying, I'm gonna shoot your bitch ass. And it just got so simple. And I think it was better when we were talking in code because it was designed for the people who knew the code. And the people who didn't wouldn't be influenced by the bullshit we was talking because they couldn't get it. You get where I'm coming from? It's like we shooting over your head, bro. I'm shooting this to dude. He gonna get it because he know what I'm talking about. But these people who don't, it blows right past them. But somewhere along the line, they simplified it, and now it's just blatant. You know?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons I think that happened, but sadly, I think, like you said earlier, the most of the good or the great, I should say, rappers were actually good at did well in school, particularly English, or at least could have because they were intelligent, had vocabulary, had all these things.
Right.
And that had been the case since before 79 when rap was even on record. You know, all those dudes, the Kumo D's, the Grandmaster Caz's, etc., they had vocabulary, they had style, they knew this stuff. And that's I think as we've gotten on and as people, I think generally speaking, don't revere being smart,
Right.
uh, you know, which has always been a thing, especially as you know, in the hood, like, oh, you don't want to show off too much because people look
Right.
down on you. But to your point, the irony of all of that is people that had the game, whether that was a pimp, a player, a hustler, whoever, people always
Right.
looked to them, but they looked at them because of their words, because of how they could flip words and how they
Right.
could, you know. That being said, I was very curious because you mentioned the ballad of a town brother there at the end of Richard, but on Seasoned Veteran, since you mentioned Do G's Get to Go to Heaven, I was going to ask you this. That those two records or songs are at the end of each of those respective records, and I thought the parallels of the importance and the significance and the uh, importance and significance of those songs. Why on both project with Seasoned Veteran and with Richard did you decide to put them toward or at the actual end instead of more
I
toward?
do that. I do that on every one of my projects.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
Every
why?
record I've ever made, I put a jerker at the end. You know what I mean? On Season Veteran, it was Do G's. I got Town Business Volume 1 and 2. I had a song called Still My Nigga where I talk about. So I always try to put one heavy song at the end because this is the way I feel. To teach people, first you got to talk to them in their language. If I come in and put Do G's Get to Go to Heaven up top, it could work up top. But then once again, the people that I'm communicating with and the audience that I'm dealing with, they usually don't want to be talked at. They want to be talked to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So my formula is let me come hang with you. We're gonna shoot the shit. I'm gonna speak your language, get you to fuck with me. And then when we get down to the end, I'm gonna teach you something. I'm gonna put something at the back, just something that you can carry with you. I could put them in the middle of the album, but I always put the heaviest shit at the bottom. And the ballad is just like a Doogies off the Seasoned Veteran. The
Mhm.
ballad is a big record. And once again, this is a record that I didn't write. Like soon as the music came on, I think I may have wrote ballad. I wrote those verses in probably 3 to 5 minutes, bro. So these are messages that the creator wants people to hear. I have tons of music that I didn't release in my hiatus. I was always making music. I stay in the studio, but I just had stopped putting records out. And there had became a time when my pen had got a little soft, meaning I was writing shit that it was dope, but it just didn't seem as dope as it had usually been. And I had a thought came through my mind. I was like, well, maybe my ghostwriter is like, you're not putting the shit out. So why do I need to keep giving you these jewels? These are songs that I believe the universe wants people to hear. I believe my position is to give people this music because, like I said, I don't have a hard time writing these records.